Greetings and salutations to all you people out there on the interwebs. I am Senor Carlos Blanco El Barbero, the Pen and Herald for the Kingdom of Meridies, and this is our October. This is our October Heraldic Decisions meeting. Joining me today are a few distinguished heralds. Those that have audio, go ahead and give yourself a little introduction.
Hello, I am Ulrich Eisenhand. I am the Cipher Herald, which is internal submissions, and I don't think I'm all that distinguished, to be completely honest with you.
I'm Hervé Stormond, Merciless Herald, Gnome Herald Extraordinary, other alphabet soup.
And coming in at the wire is our own famous Master Alexander Ravencroft. Say hi, Master Alexander.
Hi. Who am I saying hi to?
The interweb.
Okay.
Notice he almost called you his favorite herald.
I know much better than that.
And then he stopped. So take a second and soak in all that implies.
It's the medication.
I'll blame it on the drugs. Yay. Yay for good drugs.
With us tonight with no audio is Lucian. If you can give us a wave. And Alan Lothenthar son.
Lothan Larson.
Hey, you made it.
Okay.
Damn.
Okay. We're going to get right on it here. Tonight we have 8 entries with a total of 12 items to discuss. The first one is a new device change from Eden Johans. He is wanting Gyrany, Azure, and Argent, a border Gyrany counter change. He is releasing his old item per Pale and per Chevron, Azure, and Argent in Chief 2 crosses, Flurry, Finchy, within a border Gyrany, Argent, and Azure.
And there was a comment that we can drop the second Gyrany from this.
Yes.
Yep.
Pretty much it looks straightforward just from Kingdom commentary and everything. We're not finding anything close to it.
This is almost field-only heraldry.
It's
Yeah, if he didn't have the border, it would be. So,
but hey, it's nice.
Frankly, I'm looking at that and I'm thinking if I saw that on a shield and I was fighting that guy, I would be, and he was waving it around, I would get really confused really quickly. So yeah, so this should be good heraldry.
Yeah, we're
Not in this kingdom. Everybody's used to my outfits.
So, I see no reason to hold it back. So we're going. I mean, we've got multiple sayings that it comes clear with. So we're going to send it up with the reblazing. Moving on to number 2, we have Aldous Van Sandy.
I think that's just a sand.
Say that again?
I think that's just sand. I don't believe the E is pronounced in German.
Okay.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's Dutch.
Germanic languages, then. Is that better, Ulrich?
As the German in the room, yes, that's better.
Okay. Excuse me, let me repeat.
I believe they are questioning their documentation.
Um,
Saying that it's the wrong page that they have sent.
I got a bad feeling about Adon's spiffy device there.
Well, we're talking about the name right now.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
going back to I'm going back to the previous one.
Okay. Oh, okay.
There's Gyrony, Azure, and Argent, a border semi of roundels counter changed. You get one for putting the roundels on the border, but there isn't a second one to be had. Crap.
Where are you?
I put the name and stuff in the chat there.
Okay.
Do I get audio on this feed? Now.
Okay. Had an echo there. Okay, so going back and looking, Gyrony, Azure, and Argent, a border semi of Randall's.
The
Yeah.
only difference is the roundels.
Yeah.
Oops, so that's a conflict.
Yeah, I wonder how.
I don't know how people searcst. I don't know what.
Well, this border is counter changed.
This device is Argent and Azure and Argent. Okay, yeah, I was checking it backwards. That's what it was. It was we were checking Argent first.
Well, with Gyrony, even if it was the tinctures were reversed, that wouldn't be enough to change the tincture of the field.
Yeah,
because it's 8 pieces.
Okay.
Or, wouldn't so.
So yes, that is, and I am stealing all that written information.
Yeah, I put that there so you could.
Yes, thank you very much. We have a conflict.
Don't know what else to say. It's just
he just needs to add something, or
Yep. I mean, it's there's no obvious. Making the border bumpity is the easy thing.
Yeah, conflict.
But
okay. Thank you for finding that.
You're welcome.
All right. Going to number 2.
Yep.
As I was saying, a matter of fact, if I'm reading the names correctly, Lucian, I believe you're the one that was saying that the name and the documentation do not match up. You can give me a nod there. Yeah. The document, he says that the documentation for the name, the spelling that she's wanting should be page 11 with a photocopy of page 11, but they have us with page 7, which documents a different spelling. Now um, on the one that we have a link for, we do find that spelling
for the for the given name.
For the given name.
Right. And the photocopy was chasing that back to the original source because I'm not sure that the cited source is on the no photocopy list. So, no, I'm not sure. Yeah. Is it straightforward to get a photocopy of the right page?
That might be what we need to do. So we need them to get that book and get a copy of the right page.
Yeah.
Specifically, image number 2 is documentation. The source corrects the photocopy. Yeah, so I'll contact the submitter and say, hey, listen, your source is correct, but you sent in the wrong page. We need page 11, not page 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm sure it was probably an easy goof, because what it is that between the two pages, the E and the L are transposed.
Yeah.
And so, that's easy to do.
Yep.
Yeah. So I will contact the submitter about getting a new page.
Right.
Excuse me. Okay. So we'll move on to her device now. Which is Argent, a swan sable, and on a chief embattled ghouls 3 tulip blossoms Argent.
We need to add Niant, a swan Niant sable.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, because the swan is not in its default posture. Now somebody had a question somewhere.
All right.
They're wondering about something that was just recently. If you look under Terrans, the following device associated with this name was registered in April 2016. Argent, a swan, Niant sable, and on a chief embattled as yours. Well, that should be more than 2 DCs right there. That should be 2 DCs right there. Changing the complex line of division.
No,
they're both in battle.
They're both in battle.
Okay.
So far, all we changed is the tincture of the chief.
Right.
The tincture of the tertiary charges on the chief.
Well, so far, all we gotten different was the tincture of the chief, and we hadn't talked about the flowers yet. Which I have the benefit of looking at the scan of the form, because that was reblazoned in 2016. It's actually a 1984 registration.
Okay, thank you very much.
There was some clarification on dogwood blossoms, and there were a bunch of reblazons that month.
Okay.
One of them. And the flowers are a very pale pink.
Okay, so they are pink on the form.
They're pink, but I would not call them ghouls by any stretch. They are truly a pale shade. There's definitely the type of the flower. I would not make the call. I would. I would not return it on the basis of this. I would ask Reef to clarify things, but it might be a conflict. I am going to.
Well, if the certain species of flower calls for its color to actually be pink, was us changing these lilies to white, do we not get to DC?
Yeah. But I mean, there's a level of it's pink by courtesy. We would not accept that. I don't think that tincture would be acceptable today.
And if it's specified by species, the dogwood can come in any one of 3 colors.
Right. Which I take it that was your post that your post that we're actually talking about then.
No, it's just I'm in the South.
Because it says that species comes in white, pink, or red.
Right. My property's covered with them.
So. All right, we'll do a reblazing, and we'll do a reblazing and send it up saying that the forms for the original submission actually has their flowers being pink. So we wait on their judgment on if we have a second DC.
Yeah. When I indexed that boy, I indexed the flowers as ghouls because they were pink, and it didn't occur to me. Wait a minute, we got ghouls flowers on an azure chief, and but now I'm looking at the picture. I'm going,
yeah. Supposedly, because we had another device. No, we had a badge come through a few months ago, and it was it had a possible conflict with a device that had a flower, and it was listed, and I believe it was listed by the species of flower, and
it was an almond blossom.
It was an almond blossom. Is that what it was? And we were waiting to see if the original form had a pink blossom on it, which I believe it turned out and ended up being not. So we had to return it. So supposedly at one time, if a certain way back, if a certain flower had a certain color, and if you listed it as that species, you could get that color.
Right. There was an extensive argument over that back in the late 80s, early 90s over the use of natural colors and species. And it went both ways at different times, depending on who was Laurel.
Right. So, yeah, so I agree. This is definitely one for them to kick around and argue about. But, yeah, we must definitely reblaze the Niant.
On a related note.
Yes.
In the MyCat file, should the word field always ever appear by itself without anything after it? So most of the time it's field : something.
Yeah.
There are 25.
Yeah, it's supposed. It's not supposed to be. It's supposed to have features.
Huh?
Always.
There are 25 without any.
Could they be
Okay.
field only devices?
They are not.
No, that would be.
If they were field only, they would specify that. So there's no such thing.
They wouldn't have the field category. Fascinating.
You want me to send them to you?
Sure. Please. I'll take a look at them.
I know very little about cat files.
That's okay. The my.cat that has all the categories and features and stuff that you need to be familiar with for complex searching, complex searching.
He was
Yeah.
at our latest coronation. He was showing off this new toy he's making for us heralds, and it was pretty awesome. It makes doing your searching very easy.
Okay, so I did and went and used my Google Foo, and I Googled the name of the person we might possibly have a conflict check with. And apparently Kaid has a wiki page with everybody's stuff on it, which includes an image of her device.
Ooh, please send link. Oh, you did. Google Foo.
And Herveus, what did you call the part to the right of, or the sinister of a colon after field?
Those are features. This picture there.
That seems white with pink
White
accents.
and pink bits, yeah.
Okay, I'm comparing a scan of the original form that I have in front of me to that picture, and it's the same picture.
Okay.
That's okay. And the scan has the flowers with a decided pink note, but definitely a very pale shade.
Mm-hmm.
The pink this scan might have gotten the pink kind of color corrected out of it or something.
Because yours is pinker, a little bit pinkier.
Yeah.
But another question that was brought up in that post is, do we get a DC for tulip-shaped flowers versus foil flowers?
Oh, hell yes.
Well, then there's a second DC right there.
There's a DC for the type. There might not be a DC for the tincture.
But if we have a DC for the tincture of the chief,
That's right. Never
that's two
mind.
DCs.
Okay,
Thank you.
so we're good
Sorry.
then.
Yeah, okay, we got one for type. There's one for type, that's easy. Never mind. So we don't actually.
Crisis averted!
Yay!
Makes my job easier.
Yep. And the submitter happier.
Okay.
All right.
All right, yeah. Duh. There's one for type. So we don't have. So the question doesn't have to be answered.
Yep. No.
Yeah.
Type in field tincture. So.
Or yeah, tincture of the
Okay,
chief.
Herveus,
Yeah.
should any of the tags be missing features? Because, like, you got two anchors without any features. Should a missing feature be an error period?
Oh, look, constellations.
That depends. What's the category name? Missing a feature. Huh?
Anchor. I mean, I don't know how my cat is set up, so it's.
Oh, okay. Wait. Okay, you're looking. You see an instance of Anchor with no features on it
Yeah.
There are
in the
two.
database, or are you looking at my.cat when you say that?
Okay, and gentlemen,
I imported it.
we do have five more items,
Yeah,
five more
let's-
submissions to go through.
Let's hold that thought for the moment.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we can if we can get through these and everything, y'all can talk after we stop. We're broadcasting. Thank you
Sounds
very much. Okay.
Before the pen and drops dead.
Or before pin and drops dead.
Well,
We have-
does that mean that I have to continue the meeting?
Yes.
I'm not ready for
Bernhard
this.
von Ischbach. We have, and this is a resub. And the reason why it was resubbed was the elephant was facing one way, and the crescent was facing the other way.
And leaning to boot. Just
And yeah, and leaning. That's not a full. That's about a 45-degree off axis right there.
yeah. Which is a legitimate orientation for a crescent, but the combination, unity of orientation or posture or whatever.
So with this resub, he now has both the elephant and the in this case an increscent going the same direction.
If it was an increscent or if it was a decrescent, being tilted, it had to be explicitly blazoned as bendwise, a whatchamacallit, bendwise or something, which is not okay. But since the increscent, decrescent, crescent are all, they have names,
You're right.
there shouldn't be a problem with any one of those three in conjunction with an elephant. Everything's in default postures.
Yeah. So, and White Antelope says she found no conflicts. So, and it definitely fixed the issue of the return. So we should be good. Herveus,
Yes.
since you were our golden star and you found something last minute, are you seeing anything last minute as far as conflict?
It's a pretty low risk, but
Yeah, I don't see many elephants used in society.
There's at least one period order with the elephant in it.
oh yeah, elephants are not unheard of.
This is very few to see.
I'm making a quick check here. Just got myself caught with something not quite fully started up. So
Okay.
Most common appearance I can find of those two elements in combination are Shriners.
Mm.
just have to walk.
I think we've got enough. We've probably got enough there though to not. I mean, well, if you think really hard, you would think Shriners. It's not blatantly saying Shriner.
Oh no, there's nothing that actually matches it. Certainly not with those colors.
Yeah.
And a quick a conflict check. No, nothing close.
Okay, so we'll move on to number 4.
Hey, I submitted this one.
Oh, okay. So Eckhart von
Eschenbach.
Ischenbach. It is a transfer. He is transferring his badge to the kingdom. About the only thing that we have question here is about how it was actually registered on the letter. So I can possibly correct that on my next on the letter up. Master Alexander,
We're gonna have to.
Yeah. So it should be 2 entries then. Correct?
These are 2 actions. One is a release of the badge. The other one is the acceptance of the badge.
Actually, it would be a transfer, which implies a release. But I mean, one is transfer of badge, and well, the transfer clearly he's letting it go, but we don't use the R word in the discussion of it. We just say transfer of badge.
Yeah.
And then acceptance of badge transfer or whatever.
Right.
On the part of the recipient.
Because if it were a release, then Meridies would have to resubmit as a new badge, correct?
Which is not what.
That's what we would have had to do under the old system. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
The old blazon is in fact incorrect. I have copied and pasted the registered blazon out of the database and put it in the chat window.
That actually is out of your database.
Well, yes. I have an editing tool where I say, show me everything for Eckhart von Eschenbach, and copied and pasted. Yes.
Now here's a question though. Did they use the old blazon in the letters?
The blazon that's in the letter is in fact, looks like on a pale sable between a pair of arrows inverted and in chief 2 mullet sable. An arrow inverted in chief of mullet argent. Yeah, that the blazon in Eckhart's letter,
Right.
Is correct. That is the registered blazon.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the one to use.
So where is the old that old blazon then? Is it in the header?
Huh? Wait, which?
You said You said that there was something wrong with one of the blazons.
Okay. In the action here in Oscar, it says Oscar finds the name, and then there's a blazon.
Right.
That line of text is not the registered blazon. It says Argent on a pale between 2 arrows inverted. The registered blazon says Argent on a pale sable between a pair of arrows inverted.
So it's actually just missing the word sable.
No.
And 2 needs to be changed to a pair.
Okay.
It's the old blazon. One might expect the blazon to get tweaked in the process of transferring it.
Right.
But here, the letter accurately quotes the database.
Okay, and that's all that really matters then.
That matters there, and
Right.
the blazon that was offered in the item above there is not an incorrect blazon, and the difference would not be a cause for
Okay.
cause for return. It's just one can expect the blazon to be corrected on the fly when it's registered.
Right.
Um,
But that's still something I'll have to change and note.
yeah.
So, all right.
So yeah.
You were worrying me that I had something wrong with the letters, and it was like,
Yeah.
No, the letter accurately quotes the blazon. It's the item in Oscar doesn't accurately put the blazon. No big deal.
Yeah.
Other than getting it right, other than making sure we use the actual registered blazon. So,
Yeah, Eckhart is almost never at an event, and I was lucky to stumble upon him right after this question came up. Because we actually use this badge for one of our orders. Which is the reason he registered it. It just over the last 20 years, has never gotten transferred like it should have.
He registered to reserve it, and it just didn't happen. The rest didn't happen. Okay,
transfer never happened.
Right.
So, a question came up, and he magically showed up like 2 weeks later at an event that I was at, and since I recognized, I got it done.
Okay.
Okay.
So ultimately, this is going. So when Meridies accepts it, they're going to expect to associate it with an existing order.
They are not not one that is registered. So that is why the letter is silent on that issue.
Okay. So there's still more paperwork to do to get everything the way they want it to be.
Paperwork that I'm not in charge of. I've done enough orders. I've done enough orders in the last year. It gets to be somebody else's turn.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm cool.
All right. But so I do a new transfer of badge association. Then right under that, I do new acceptance of badge.
Yeah, it's just new transfer of badge. It shouldn't be, the word association doesn't belong in there.
Okay.
I was just picking the one from the drop-down menu options that looked the most correct.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know what kind of choices you get there, so
yeah, I'll figure that out.
Yeah.
All right.
But
just don't use the R word.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not releasing or returning anything.
No.
We're just changing who they belong to.
Yep.
All right. Item number 5 is new name and new device. Elena de Isigny.
Elena de Isigny.
Isigny,
something like that. Yeah.
Was the name?
Is this our new countess?
Yes, it is.
It is.
Okay.
So it is our, yes, it is the freshest, is from the freshest countess in the deck currently.
Okay.
I had gotten a side note from Adelaide stating that that we need to check with her to see if she's wanting her surname was an NY or an NEY, because we have docs for NY, but we do not have docs for NEY.
Looking back at the scan of the form,
correct.
It's NEY up at the top, but under the documentation it says primary preference to ISNY NY. So I don't know if that was just a typo in one place or the other.
Hold on. I'm going to pull up the doc too.
Yeah. I mean,
Ark, why did somebody scan upside down?
Look the right side up on my page.
Oh no, some of the others are upside down. Like
I rotated them all around to right side up if they came in upside down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Primary preference is with the NY, so that right there is telling us that she wants NY. It just says that it's a canton in France, now called something else. Doesn't really give. Hmm. You have more in your little thing than what's on the form.
Yes,
Cypher.
because I went and looked for it.
Well, if she is, I still need to I still need to contact her and says, listen, do you want NEY or NY? Because we have docs for NY that will work strongly.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's going to have to be something I'm going to have to definitely talk over with the submitter.
But if you clarify what she wants, because it looks like we may well be able to justify it either way, with or without the E.
Right.
And send it up, and we can find out what range there is for what flexibility there is on the precise spelling.
Right.
What are the parameters she wants to work with? And the D should probably be lowercased.
Okay.
Yeah.
Grammatically, it should be D, lowercase d, lowercase d.
Yeah. Just make it clear what you've changed and why, and what the submitter started with, and what the submitter wants, so that commenters who go try and help with the docs have a good target. And ideally, somebody will will be able to confirm or flesh or expand on the docs.
Yeah. Well, like I say, it sounds like Harold has already got docs for NY. So if she's already got docs for NYs, it should be easy. So it's just contacting submitter to see what she wants.
Right. It looks like the spellings are all over the map.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of flexibility. Basically, if you got a bunch of spellings all over the map and you pick some, interpolate between them to get exactly what the submitter wants, you're probably gonna do it.
Yeah. All right. So moving on to her device, which is Argent, a tree blasted and eradicated vert, and on a border prepare a butterflies displayed Argent.
Okay, it's not a seme, it's seme.
Right.
Seme is a verb.
So, which someone has already corrected the blazon to Argent, a tree blasted and eradicated vert, and a border prepare semi butterflies Argent, because butterflies are by default displayed.
Yeah, kind of hard to identify if they're not.
Yeah. The only thing that I'm seeing is that visually looking at the device, there's not that much green on that tree, but the color correction is finding it.
The tree, Yeah, it's green enough.
And
I mean, I glanced at it and went, "Oh yeah, that is green."
Yeah. And from what I'm hearing now, as long as the color correction finds mostly the color that it says it is, it's still good to go.
Yep.
It's when you have like we have one here, one or two more down, and everything. We had to do a redraw because the color didn't come out right. The only Brahma was the only one who did any conflicts. So if we can get a quick double check of conflicts, that would be great.
Yeah, I'm doing a conflict check here.
Bugger.
I did not find any conflict.
Okay.
One sec. Let me double check the blaze in here. As long as we don't have to worry about cogwheels and butterflies conflicting with one another, I think we're good.
Okay. I think that should definitely be a distinct change in type.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So moving on to number 6. Elric Osman. These next two that we are doing are mine. So you have the submitting herald right in front of you. So we have Eric. So number 6, Elric Osman, new name and new device. With the name, they're saying that if Brahman was saying if Elric is dated as late as 1279, then we would think Elric would also be acceptable in that time frame. Dating Osman to the 13th century brings the name elements together temporally in England, and I find no conflicts. Adelaide sent me a late saying about looking at Rennie and Wilson for Elric, which I believe I stated, if I remember correctly, about 1066. Given name was documented space dated to 873. That it would appear that the name was used later, and that date given as well as Rennie, page 6. Under so Rennie and Wilson is quoted in there. So and since they're both English names, they're dated temporally together with a since the same language has a 500-year gap. Does anyone question my thinking on that one?
Oh, about that?
Yeah.
We question your thinking in general, but
Yeah, on that one subject, Master Alexander.
all right, we'll let you go with that.
Okay. Then we'll move on to his device, which is Purple, Inverted, Azure, Ore, and Ghouls. 2 Wolves, Rampant, Adorst, Counterchanged, and a Maple Leaf Inverted Argent. 3 people conflict checked it. I looked at it when I was putting it together. I wasn't finding anything. Do any of you gentlemen see anything that I might have missed?
That's a really low risk.
I figured it would be with anything. I mean, given the color treatments, and the only thing that we were slightly worried about was the red and the white and the maple leaf, but we believed with inverting the colors and then as well as inverting the leaf, we wouldn't have anything to worry about Canada. So,
well, there's no. It's a completely different field division than the Canadian.
Yeah. But but I am pretty well sure we can go ahead and send that one up. So we'll go ahead and move on to item number 7, which is Ingvar Pietzen. Yes, Paul Inverted is becoming real popular down here in Arenal. But with his name, both names were found in Gary Bisi. Bossy. And I used their patronymic construction formula to make it.
Yeah.
Although we had one person questioning it. Which I've read over it a couple times. I don't see where they're questioning it.
Well, okay, Frida.
They're thinking that the R should still be in it.
Yeah.
And if it's a time period thing, the cementer does not really care that much about time period.
Right. Okay. Um, okay, the entry on the page here should say a bit more about what Gearbossi said about how to form that patronymic.
Which I've got Garibossi right here.
Yeah.
All right, let's see now. Let's see if I can find the right one I was using.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. Most other men's names end in R, which usually become S in the genitive.
Right.
So R turns to S.
And then you put on the sun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, that's what I did.
Yep. Okay. And that's Frida is offering, is offering more help, sort of, because she knows what she's talking about.
Right.
Finding, but what she's saying does not invalidate what you did.
Right.
I don't know whether you want to acknowledge Frida's comments in the LOI that, or just let her make the comments again in commentary.
Right.
So yeah, you should be good to send the name up as it is on what you got.
Yeah, because he wants the submitter wants Pietzen. I know that much.
So then send it up that way, and there we are.
Yeah. All right. So looking at his name, we have Purpaw inverted ghouls, Purpur and Or, a bear and a boar, rampant combatant argent. And this is what I was talking about. What's the color correction and everything?
Yeah.
As you can see, that turned out very orange, but I was able to make a quick redraw.
Okay.
It was a very distinct yellow.
The line of division is awfully thick.
Okay.
It really should be.
That's something I can redraw very quickly.
Yeah, it's. I would not be astonished to see people go kvetching about that being a really skinny Paul inverted.
Right.
And having and not being silly about it. So, yeah.
Okay.
If you fix that, that's good.
Yeah, I can fix that. I can fix that in a matter of minutes.
Yeah. I mean, and as noted by White Antelope, you don't need the word rampant in there because combatant implies rampant.
Okay.
So it looks like you've got it under control.
All right. for the most part and everything. I know this one does not conflict. So we'll move on to our last one, which is Yeeson Layla. So resub. It was returned in Laurel of 99. Their reason for the return was the owl on a pail was not displayed as listed in the letter of intent but striking affronting. That position is not allowed as it is not found in period heraldry and is inherently three-dimensional. Had the owl been drawn displayed, the usual argument of arms on a pail may still have been returnable. Such a drawing would probably not be reproducible. But they have submitted argent on a pale sable, a barn owl displayed argent in chief, a mullet, a 6-point sable.
That's reasonably displayed. Yeah, that corrects the reason for the return.
Right.
And there's a step for period practice for a bird not an eagle displayed, but you don't get two.
Right.
So it. And I think
I mean, somebody questioned about the feet, but if you really look at them, the feet are out away from the animal
as much as they can be.
Yeah.
I'd still have a fundamental question about whether you can actually put a bird displayed on a pall and have everything fit visibly and clearly reproducibly.
I don't see any way it could be put on other than the way it is.
Yeah.
But and so the submitter has corrected the specific defect that was called out in the return. And they've changed the charge in chief, but basically if the only issue how to say.
Well, the issue about the position was raised in the original return too.
Right.
So
it says it might still be returnable. Probably not reproducible. So there's a chance that the argument will be raised and made that it's still not reproducible.
Yes.
But you can't predict that. You have no business trying to predict that. So
yeah, no, it's anything that was, they have done enough that on our level, it's definitely they've cleared enough.
You send it up and yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they have, on our level, they have definitely cleared enough to where we can send it up and let Laurel decide more about,
let the college chew on it.
Yeah.
Back when, that's what we would have done, is just included a note that the secondary issue they mentioned is still there, but that's up to them to decide.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I would quote the return on the LOI and say, and this addresses the specific reason for return, and the open question is still an open question.
Right. Okay.
Discuss amongst yourselves, as it were.
All right, then we will We will send that up. So, all right. Well, gentlemen, that concludes what we have for this letter.
Okay.
So I thank each and every one of you for putting up with me tonight. And we'll look forward to our next meeting. So everyone out there on the internet, have a wonderful time, and we'll see you next go around.